September 26, 1983. The Cold War wasn't just cold, it was frozen in fear. Across continents, superpowers armed with nuclear weapons teetered on the edge of annihilation. Deep beneath a Soviet bunker outside Moscow, Stanislav Petrov sat at a control panel. He wasn't a general, he wasn't a politician, he was a duty officer. And in the next 20 minutes, he would hold the fate of the entire world in his hands. Every protocol screamed one thing: nuclear war had begun. His orders were clear: report immediately, retaliate, strike. But Petrov didn't push the button. Why? What could have possibly stopped the world's destruction in those 20 minutes? 1983 was one of the tensest years of the Cold War. President Reagan had labeled the Soviet Union an evil empire. Just months earlier, the Soviets had shot down Korean Airlines Flight 007, killing 269 innocent people. NATO's Able Archer 83 military exercise, simulating a nuclear first strike, only fueled Soviet paranoia. Petrov was stationed at Serpukhov 15, a top-secret bunker where all early warning data funneled in. The satellite system Cosmos 1382 had been designed to detect missile launches instantly and eliminate human error. In theory, it was infallible. In practice, it relied on humans like Petrov to interpret its signals. Petrov distrusted machines. Something about relying on a blinking light to decide whether billions would die didn't sit right with him. And that night, his instincts would face the ultimate test. 12:40 a.m. The first alarm shrieked, "Start! USA missile attack!" Petrov's junior officers froze. "Commander," one stammered, "the Americans are attacking." His training screamed, "Report immediately, retaliate, strike." But his gut whispered, "Wait, check it again," he said calmly. The satellite was new. It had glitches. If the Americans were truly attacking, they wouldn't start with one missile. They'd launch hundreds. Petrov's decision defied every rule, risking court-martial, perhaps death. Then a second alarm, a third, a fourth. 5 missiles, all supposedly launched from a single base. The red lights flashed furiously. Alarms screamed, voices panicked. The computers displayed high probability of missile attack. If this was a first strike, the Soviet Union would face hundreds of missiles, not 5. Petrov's reasoning, his human intuition, battled against the cold, flashing logic of the machine. He called the duty general at Soviet High Command. "I am reporting a system malfunction," he said. The computers continued to scream, "Attack!" But Petrov knew the truth. Something didn't add up. The satellite detected glints of sunlight off high-altitude clouds, a rare atmospheric anomaly. Petrov's bad feeling was right. Human judgment had defeated the machine, and the world survived. For decades, the incident remained classified. Petrov wasn't celebrated, he wasn't punished. He was quietly reassigned. The world never knew how close it came to destruction. One man's courage, patience, and intuition had prevented a nuclear holocaust. Petrov's story only emerged publicly in the 1990s after the Soviet Union collapsed. When asked why he didn't follow protocol, he said simply, "I just made a reasonable decision. I didn't want to start a war." His legacy isn't in monuments or speeches. It's in the cities still standing, the children still playing, the civilizations that continue. In an age dominated by machines, Petrov reminds us that human intuition and critical thinking are sometimes the most vital safeguards. The greatest dangers aren't always visible. Sometimes they hide in the code, in blind obedience, in systems we trust without question. Stanislav Petrov shows us courage isn't always moving forward. It's knowing when to pause, to question, to think. What false alarms in our world are we ignoring today? Which systems do we trust without doubt? History proves that sometimes survival pivots on a single quiet choice. If you believe critical thought can still save us, subscribe to the Time Navigator. Because the most important history isn't always written in stone, it's held in the silence between heartbeats. Until next time, keep thinking.